Yeah, I don't. There are a number of reasons I don't like Memorial Day. Primarily because it's just so sad, and I think that's the main reason it is so sad, and it's a kind of sadness that uh, really is unnecessary when you think about where we have where the United States has ordered people to go to kill or be killed over the past century. Very little of it makes any sense at all. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think the Vietnamese were ready to invade the United States or drop bombs on us. Or I know the people in Iraq weren't planning on doing that. The leadership, or certainly not Afghanistan. It's just it's vile. I watched the placing of the wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns this morning with the military and the president and the prayers and the precise military ceremonies involved, and yeah, it makes for heart pulling video. And I guess you'd have to be a real son of a bitch not to feel at least a fleeting bit of pain and sympathy for the families who lost fathers and sons and brothers and uncles, and and of course now it's mothers and sisters, and I well, all that is so hideously tragic and sad. You know, the general, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who spoke at that ceremony, said too many times people do not listen to the third or fourth verse of America the Beautiful, where it talks about alabaster cities. And what they're talking about, my interpretation, are those white gravestones that just flow, hundreds of thousands of them, in not just Arlington National Cemetery, but all the national cemeteries around the country. And but there was the general, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, in all his radiant splendor, with all the accoutrement of a military chief. His uniform was absolutely resplendent, with the gold and the soup on his chest. What do you call that? Hash now? I don't know. And I didn't hear Obama speak. I just didn't want to. But I did watch that little bit. And, of course, the playing of taps at the Tomb of the Unknowns by a military bugler, that's always, extremely sad. But, I think about, and I'm sure a lot of people do, I think about the people who gave a family member to go die in some godforsaken foreign country. And they're usually godforsaken after we have had our way with these countries, after we bomb and shock and awe them, or nuke them, or what have you, or invade them or occupy them. And by the time the troops arrive, there is resistance, of course, as there would be in this country. The populations of those countries that we invade, where we send our military, are going to resist. They're not just going to throw their hands up in the air, are they, and say, oh, here come the American soldiers that represent the American death machine. Let's everybody just stop and throw our hands up or lay down. No, they resist. And when they resist, the countries that we invade, those countries either become non-operating states like Iraq, or we leave in defeat. And all that death and destruction was for what? For the Vietnamese, all that death and destruction was to defend and protect their homeland. That's all they were doing. They were protecting and defending their homeland. They did it against the Chinese, they did it against the Japanese, they did it against the French, and by God, they did it against the Americans. So I just, I watched the circumstance and the pomp and circumstance, I should say, and I just wonder what the hell is going on here.